Welcome back to my garage. This time we are going to start boring the cylinder. The inner diameter of the sleeve right now is 75.0 millimeters and the final size is going to be 78.0, so there's 3 millimeters to be removed in total. What I'm gonna do is remove 2.5 millimeters, so take it up to 77.5 and then finish the porting. So the sleeve isn't as thick and the porting goes quicker, but I still have a little room for error there. So if I make a mistake and damage the sleeve, still needs to be bored 0.5 millimeter. And hopefully any damage that might occur will go away. But before we do that, we need to shorten the sleeve a bit, because as you can see it's sticking out a bit much. So right now this sleeve is 165 millimeters tall. I want it to be sticking out as little as possible from the cylinder, because well, there will be less risk of ruining stuff, less pressure or forces on the skirt. Mostly the intake side I'm worried about, because that's where it all fucked up last time. So to determine how much or how long it's gonna need to be, I took this other cylinder. This is a Rotex 320 cylinder, and as you can see it's a different kind of cylinder, but it has the same 17mm stroke as my 277 has now. So I'm going to use the height of this sleeve and use that on my sleeve, because that should work pretty good. So that is 128 millimeters. Maybe I should go for 130. I'll go for 130. A little more chamfer then. So that's that much. It looks pretty good, I think. So to remove this, I think I'm just going to rough cut it with my angle grinder and then finish it up on the lathe. Feels so wrong to use an angle grinder for this, but whatever. So I switched to my forge jaw here. I got it dialed in to within a hundredth of a millimeter this way, but it has a little bit of run out this way, so I'm just going to give it a quick face cut. And then we'll put the cylinder on. So this should theoretically now be running nice and true. See about that. Yep. Cylinder, it has a little bit of play in all directions, so I'm going to try and true it up as much as possible with a little rubber mallet, and then do the rest with the forge jaw close. Two hundredths of a millimeter run out that way. No run out that way. I'm going to try and correct that a little bit. So now the sleeve is the correct length, and I guess we can start boring. So for the boring, I'm using one of these inserts, and I've had pretty good results with them before. But my lathe is well, it's not perfect boring this in the lathe, but I have to take it really slow, slow feed rate and small cuts, otherwise it will start vibrating, and low RPM also. I'm taking cuts of 0.5 millimeter. So I have to make at least 5 cuts to get to 77.5 now, and it's going to take a long time. I'm not going to show you all of it because you will be very bored by the time it's done. So the boring went pretty good. It's a nice finish for being only bored. And it ended up being exactly 130 millimeters. So this is what it looks like now, the inside. See there, port, there's about 2.5 millimeters of sleeve remaining now. The intake needs a little lowering still. You can see here it's almost at the bottom of the cylinder already. So yeah, this is now ready for a little more porting, match porting the transfers and the intake and exhaust. It should go relatively quickly, I think. Do the porting first, then bore the cylinder to final size and hone it to final size. And finally I will do the transfers. I'm saving those for last. So let's go do some porting. I'm not going to focus on the camera because I need to focus on this, of course, and we'll see if the camera gets in the way. Then maybe I have to, maybe I can't show you what I'm doing, but I'll give it a try. So as you can see, I switched to this little carbide bit. It wasn't, I wasn't really getting anywhere with the stones. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue doing all the ports now with this, and then finish them up with the stones. I think the porting is done now. I'm sorry I didn't film very much of it because the camera ran out of battery, and I didn't feel like concentrating on that, so I concentrated on the porting instead. It's not like it was very interesting to watch anyway, I think. The camera was a bit in the way anyway, so I was actually just glad to get rid of it. But I've been using this one to do the intake and the transfer port, and this one to finish it a little bit, smoothing it out. Then here's my little flapper thingy. Gives a really nice smooth finish. And then for the transfers I've been using this with different kinds of bits. It actually broke. You can see here the thing that's supposed to hold the bits in place, it broke off. I'm going to have to make a new one, I guess. And then you buy a proper porting kit. It would be nice too, but it's a lot of money. So what I need to do now is I need to make a new spacer. It's my old spacer. So I need to make a new one of these, and then as you can see here, the intake port needs to continue into the spacer, the intake shaft, I mean. So I guess that's what's up next, and after that I will bore it to the final size and hone it, and then I will cut out the transfer inlets, whatever they're called. I decided to do it the other way around. I'm going to bore the cylinder first and get that over with. So I'm going to bore this to 77.9 now, and do the last bit with the honing tool. I'm first gonna take a spring cut and see where I'm at, and then I'll adjust it and set it to final size. .71 millimeters. Need to take 19 hundredths more to end up at 77.90. It's not really critical this, because the final size is in the honing anyway. So I think I'm just going to take 2/10, a little bit less to hone. So yep. Got to the intake port now. You can hear the cut is getting interrupted. I'm just going to put a little chamfer in here. I checked the chamfer angle on the stock sleeve, and it's around 30 degrees, so I'll go with that too. Think that's enough? Just soften the edges a little bit so I don't cut myself on it. And this is what it looks like now after only the bore. It's got a somewhat decent finish already, but obviously not good enough for to put the piston in already. It would wear out your rings pretty quickly. So yep, let's go over to the bench and start honing. So for the honing, I'm going to be using this and this. This is a honing tool that I bought on eBay. It's called Sun, not Sonnen. It's a pretty good coffee, I think. It cost I think about $150 or something. and it comes with stones and everything. I also bought a smaller one for moped cylinders. This one takes, I don't remember, I think 55mm and upwards, or up to 95 or something. I don't remember the exact values. And then to check the bore size, I'm going to use this Subido dial bore gauge. So I just stick it in, and I've calibrated it to 78.00, and it shows me on the dial here how far off I am. So I'm not using any fancy stuff really. I have no idea if I'm doing this right, but the results seem to be okay. So if you have any comments, then please leave a comment so I can learn something from this. The stones, you need to keep them lubricated or they will clog up and they won't do anything. So my way of doing that is squirting a bit of oil in there every now and then. Old school. I'm starting out with putting in a bunch of oil for starters. I've already soaked the stones a little bit for a while. The stones, they are shorter than the sleeve, so I'm going to have to move it up and down, and I'll probably be flipping the cylinder around a couple of times to get an even size. So yeah, well, let's give it a go. I'm measuring on several places down in the bore, make sure it's not tapered or anything. It's pretty tiring on the arms also. Really make a shorter one of these, so I don't have to stand like that. Another 200s gone. That happens a lot, or not a lot, but happens every now and then. If you put it on slightly the wrong angle, it will lock up, and either you'll get it in your face or throw itself away. It's going pretty good. Slowly but surely. So I'm at my target size now, 78.00. My SD card in the camera was full, so I missed the last bit. Feels a lot smoother already. There's a nice crosshatch in it. Need to continue a little longer. This doesn't really remove a whole lot, so do this for hours and take off maybe 100 of a millimeter. It's pretty good. There we go. Got a nice crosshatch going on, about 35-40 degrees or something. So yeah, I think this is good to go now. I'm just I need to chamfer the edges, the exhaust and the intake, and a little bit on the transfers. Clean it properly, and then of course I need to do the lower transfers. So yeah, I'm calling it a day for today, so I can upload this video tonight. I think in the next video it's all gonna be finished. ready for a test start. So thanks for watching, subscribe, like, and see you next time. Bye.